Hey, Josh.
How's it going?
I'm okay, man. How are you?
I'm great. Good to talk to you.
Where are you right now?
I'm in Columbus, Ohio.
How's everything going with, the pandemic and all that?
Well, um, knock on wood, I'm safe. I feel pretty healthy. We don't really know. I think that there are a lot of people still getting sick. There's still people dying, and I feel like things have gotten better, but we really just don't know what I guess the future holds. And I'm just hoping that everybody stays safe and man, I want this thing to go away. I just wanted
Yeah.
I just want it to be done, and I carry on with life and be able to do the things that we love with the people that we love, and not have to worry about this anymore. But it is a reality.
Your new album, Scale and Icy, comes from a moment and a feeling of isolation, but still is the happier music you've ever done, man.
Yeah, I think overall, I think that happy sounding and poppy music isn't a new thing for our band, but I do think that an album has a from start to finish, I would say, I guess, is overall you know pretty happy and happy and upbeat. Um, and I think I think that felt important at a time where a lot of people feel on edge and unnerved and full of anxiety of what's going to happen in life. And if who knows, are we going to are we going to get sick? We're going to get this virus, and or are my loved ones going to get one or get this? And so I do think that trying to counteract the feeling that everybody had with with a little bit of more an upbeat sound,
Yeah.
I felt was pretty important.
Why do you decide to kill Clancy? For those who don't know, Clancy was a character from the previous album, Trench. But I read that you decided to kill that character forever.
Yeah, I think Clancy has been important in this story, and I think will continue to be. Yeah, maybe his purpose is served, and maybe it's not fully served yet. But we just have to continue to wait and find out.
The artwork of the new album is it's a dragon that I read too that is inspired on a children's book.
Really, the idea is I think kind of stems from the concept of kind of the idea of turning something into real life, which I think is can be a childlike feature. When we were kids, we would imagine stuff all the time. And as a little boy having a toy, you imagine that it's just walking around and talking, or a car is driving, and you kind of start to lose that throughout the course of your life. And becoming inspired by something like that again is I think important even in adulthood. I don't know why we lose that sense of imagination, but I think utilizing, if you can have a toy dragon and make it come to life and fly around a room, then you can become creative and write music and write turn nothing into a song or an album.
Saturday is one of the most fun and upbeat songs of the album, but I guess it was difficult to record because everyone was at home right at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, really, the whole album was
Yeah.
recorded remotely, and I think it created its challenges in a way, and I think it was kind of nice in some ways too, because it did kind of give us a little bit of freedom with time to work things out, logistically and parts and musically, um, and and not feel kind of a pressure with timing, even just being in a studio and working a certain amount of hours and then having to go home because everybody else wants to go home. So yeah, it was nice in some ways, but obviously it can be tough to work in two different places.
Last year, you released one of the most important songs of the year, Level of Concern, that was inspired by the pandemic, but why not include it in the album?
Well, yeah, that's always been a challenging thing. I don't know. When I get it, I know that, you know, personally, when I get an album, I don't really want songs that I've already heard on there. I like to have just kind of a fresh set of songs. And Level of Concern, you know, um, kind of came a little bit before the album, and so I think that you know, Scale to Nicely kind of just marks its own thing, and I think Level of Concern was its own thing too. So I think in our eyes, we looked at them as sort of two separate times and two separate kind of groups of songs. So yeah, I mean, it was something that we had conversations about and talked about, but ultimately just felt like it didn't really belong on the album.
Let's talk a little bit about the video, because it's an interesting video. I like it. I cannot hold my breath for 20 seconds underwater, but it looks like it was fun for you guys to be on the set and do all that kind of stuff.
It was fun, actually, and I don't normally say that about music video shoots because they're usually not. They're usually challenging and exhausting, and a lot of it's sitting around and waiting, which then makes it feel even longer. But this one was fun. It was it was a long process and a long experience, but I found it enjoyable, and I only hope that future music videos are as enjoyable as that one.
Where did the inspiration for this album came from musically? Because there's a lot of disco, like funky, totally different vibe from previous albums.
Yeah, I think that Tyler and I are both kind of constantly just you know, becoming excited about the next thing, and looking for different you know, different things to throw in a song or an album. And some of this one especially was Tyler learning how to play guitar. You know, kind of picked up a guitar, and inevitably throwing in a new instrument will change the sound of songs moving forward. And so the desire to kind of just be chasing new sounds and ideas mixed with new instruments is inevitably gonna change the sound.
And you guys said, okay, we're gonna tour. We need to tour, and you start the takeover tour in September, right?
Yeah, it's yeah, definitely historically, you know, short compared to what we've done before. So I'm hoping that it can continue, or at least we can add and play more shows after that. But I think I think only time is going to be able to tell how things are shaping up with, you know, where this pandemic is at. But hoping to play as many shows as possible. I've really missed it.
Yeah, and we miss you too, guys. Hope to see you soon here in Colombia again. And take care, man. Nice talking to you today.
Likewise, you too.